It's the 20th of October. And life seems to be absolutely wonderful. There's many wonderments that I discover that are all within. And a lot of self-discovery about the mathematical. Hold on, I went to this my glasses. Bye. I know that inherently, I knew omniscience I know omniscience because I know multifaceted. I know metamathematics, but I was reading about metamathematics, but I was reading about it like I was reading about it yesterday, and I was like, well, isn't this something I already know? And it just seems like I don't know if that's really true, but it seems like my thumb is more powerful than the words I read. And I already know that there's an aspect of me, deep within me, that I can tap into at any time. But there's an aspect of me that seems to just be aware of paper and reading and stuff, and how there's there's a whole realm that's open to me. There's a whole inner realm that's just wide open, and that's super interesting to me, and it's so intriguing because I want to know that. And when I want to know that, even just wanting to know about my inner self, wanting to know about the inner realms, it's when I read, or at least when I read about metamathematics, as a metamathematician, well, when I was reading about metamathematics, I was like, well, this is all stuff that I already know. I'm already aware of all this stuff. And then, actually, I just realized, probably going to talk about, no, I'm probably not actually going to talk about that. I was going to say I'm going to talk about the Arcturians for a little bit, but it's not really necessary. So, meta magic and meta mathematics and metaphysics are mostly just meta magic and cubic stuff and magic cubes, and it's this is all stuff that I already know, and this is stuff that I know is within me. Here's an important aspect. There's an important aspect within me that I already know is in tune with not only the ancient new transformational language, but which is such a weird thing to say, but with the overall knowing of the freedom that's inherent in the wisdom. In the wisdom that I provide, which is a much deeper level of wisdom than perhaps I'm even willing to understand, or willing to consider, or even able to consider. There's so much more in the inner realms than I could possibly imagine. That's cool. However, when it comes to like things I already know, which I just say is omniscience, it seems like that is still like a still it's a still a bleh, it's still a very small aspect of me that's not really fully like it's not really the full aspect of me. It's not really the full things that I'm capable of. There's so much more within me that I wish to reach for. And that's like what I, kind of want to wish to reach for. It's really cool. And the other thing, okay, here's what's really exciting for me. Like, I think I've developed the organs. There's definitely spiritual organs. There's definitely, like, new organs and, like, new, all that stuff. Regeneration, like, organs of, like, communication and hormones and all that jazz. Oops, totally didn't put on that. 1 second. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Wow. Gosh, I have to. Yeah, I'll get that later. But once again, that's just more intuition. Like, there's a second brain. Like, what's really fascinating for me personally is like that. Our organs are like 6 times. Like, if we were fully like tall, we'd be 6 times taller. So like, I kind of think of myself sometimes like, at least, well, innately, since, well, it doesn't really matter since when, but I can think of myself innately like as like a 5 times 6, 30, a 30-foot tall being, a 33-foot tall being, or something like that. And it's like there's all this energy that's stored, and it's stored because it's stored. It's stored energy. It's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating to me. So it seems like there's infinite discovery. Excuse me. Seems like there's infinite discovery within me. Oh, so I think it might be just metamathematics, or it might be metamagic, or it might be just my experience with the Chamber of Divine Magic, or perhaps even my experience with the understanding, or my inner comprehension of dreams. But I think like what divine magic is, it is like the in tuneness with the creator of within, and then the awareness of like divine magic within, ultimately. So I'm not sure if it's what I learned in the Chamber of Magic or in Lord Merlin's ashram that I know meta-mathematics, or if it's because of omniscience that I know meta-mathematics, or if it's just the fact that I actually, learned about meta-mathematics and knew it was already within me. Which is a good thing. We have this opportunity. I have this opportunity. So it's a pretty golden opportunity. What else? I think that's about it. Like, that's about all that I really, discovered. In terms of, meta-mathematics. And, knowing the fact that it's already omniscient and within me. And the thing is, which is not really a thing, but I've been studying omniscience for, a while. And like yesterday, I wanted to like have a study, which is probably very inspiring. So I'm pretty excited about that. I learned about a bunch of different things in terms of. I don't really think there's anything to talk about, but I learned a lot of things in terms of. Gosh, I'm tired. Probably gonna take a nap in a little bit. But anyway, I probably learned a lot of things in terms of like, even though that isn't really something that I was thinking about for some reason, but I think guardianship's like a huge aspect of life. And learning about guardians and the Gaian guardians and guardians in general and all that jazz. So, life is amazing. So I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap, and maybe I'll have another broadcast when I wake up. Well, lots of love. Love you all. Here's a little outro.